want to kick it off, or do you want me to?
You kick it off.
Welcome. Would this be the first episode or the second episode?
Yes.
Welcome to the first episode of a Doctor Who Look with Ken and John. And we have just come back from the second annual, hopefully it keeps going, console room in Minneapolis. And it's basically a Doctor Who convention in the Twin Cities, and it was very interesting. They had for celebrities, they had Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor, Gareth David Lloyd from Torchwood, and then they had the two kids from the Christmas special, The Snowmen, Joseph Darcy Alden and Ellie Darcy Alden. Didn't get a chance to see them, unfortunately. I mean, I saw them walking around the hotel, which was kind of cool, but didn't actually go to any of the panels.
Had dinner by them,
yeah. We wound up having dinner near them, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't get a chance to actually go to any of the panels they were on, but it was still kind of cool to see them, and it's like, neat, famous people. But yeah, it was a great time. It was a total surprise to me. I had no idea what was going on. My friend Athenas and John here, they decided they were going to surprise me. She bought the tickets, and he got the hotel room, and they told me we were going to a wedding. And then suddenly, boom, a Doctor Who convention. So I got my nerd on, and I freaked out, and I loved it. It was awesome. Definitely want to go back again next year. We got some really neat things. We got to meet Colin Baker. I got to have breakfast with Colin Baker, although he didn't realize we were having breakfast together. I just happened to be at the table next to him, and I look over, and I see him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that Colin Baker?
It was one of those, like, I wanted to take a selfie with him and Colin both looking at their devices at the same time, because they totally were, but you don't want to be that person that interrupts another man's breakfast.
Yeah, no.
There's never a worse time for that than, can I take your picture over breakfast? So Ken and I, being the classy dames that we are, didn't want to disturb his breakfast, so we didn't.
We were polite.
It was that executive floor life.
Yes, it was nice. We were on the 12th floor. You needed a key card to get into the elevator to get up to that floor. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
We actually did get our pictures taken with Colin, which he's such a funny guy. I wished him an early happy birthday. His birthday's coming up June 8th.
Yeah.
He was very nice and polite. It's funny, they give you a number when you're getting your picture taken with him, and they do a test photo, and then they do the real photo. Yeah. And when they gave him the sign for the test photo, he turned around and held it over his butt and was shaking it at the camera.
It's number 49, Saturday 49.
Saturday 49. I'm like, we want that one too. Go ahead and send that to us.
I hope that they do.
They're supposed to be sending us the pictures via email.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get them soon. Yeah. We did also get to go and get some stuff autographed, which was nice. I was able to get my trade of the Doctor Who Prisoners in Time, and I got the picture of him in there signed, and that was I thought that was awesome that they signed it. It was very cool. I'd like to actually be able to get other doctors to sign this, and eventually have all the ones that are still around signed on here, which would be really cool. So that's something to hope forward to.
Yeah. Likewise, I did also get a comic signed by him because, as you know, I'm kind of a... Actually, no, you don't, because this is our first show, right?
Yeah, well,
so
unless you've seen the other show.
Right, I'm a huge comic book junkie, you guys, but Doctor Who Classic Series number 3, issue 1, 6th Doctor pictured on the front, and it says to John, signature, and then 6 in Roman numerals underneath that. So he's really proud. During his interview, he referred to himself as Sixy.
60, yeah.
So that was a term that was used, and that was really cool.
Surprisingly, he did not put that on mine.
Well, let's just chop it up with the merch then. How'd you do? What's your haul?
I did pretty good. One of the things I'm most proud of, I would have loved to have been able to get this signed in person, but I'll take it. I got a Mark Shepard autographed photo. This was signed at Chicago TARDIS in 2011, the TARDIS convention there, and it's from Alien Entertainment. It's got the little logo and the holographic seal of authenticity. So Mark Shepard, big sci-fi. He's in everything. Firefly, Doctor Who, Supernatural, X-Files, CSI. He's been on everything at one point or another. Yeah. Love this guy. I follow him on Facebook, so very cool. I'm so glad I was able to get that. Happy with that. Then I was able to actually get some comics signed. I already had some comics, and they were signed by Gordon Purcell. So I got a couple of Farscape comics that I already had, and Star Trek comics I already had signed, and that was cool. And then he also had, sitting there at his table, some comics for sale. And the comics he had for sale were the Star Trek Doctor Who crossovers. So I bought 2 of those. You got the 11th Doctor shaking hands with the Borg, and then you got Dr. Picard fighting the Borg cyber controller. And he signed both of those, so I was very happy to get those. I got to get those boarded and bagged, so I'm excited about that. And that was pretty much all I got for merch at the place.
And I, of course, there was not a lot of vendors there, you guys, but the ones they did have packed a punch, and it was super cool. That way, it was just, let's keep it clean, and let's just get to the point. So, with that, I also got a book signed by Gordon Purcell, and I had issue 7 of the Star Trek Doctor Who crossover, and I thoroughly love this one because I'm a huge Borg fanatic, and also just having the TARDIS front and center was pretty sweet. So, likewise, when I travel, I have a stack of these pesky blank cover variants that I want to get work done on. So, I had this is totally on a limb, you guys, but it's a Star Trek Planet of the Apes, the Primate Directive, blank cover, and Gordon Purcell, I gave this to him, and he had it done within like 3 hours, but look at the sick artwork on that, you guys. It's the old Enterprise meets the TARDIS, signed, but just the space in the background is beautiful. Just really gorgeous artwork, and it works with the cover. It has nothing to do with Planet of the Apes, but I don't care, because I didn't see any other Star Trek blank cover variants that I could get my hands on. So that was a treat for me. Cost a pretty penny, but very well worth it, and one of a kind, and that's the way I like them, with getting them done, is that. Likewise, I also did have a chance to visit with comic creator Christopher Jones, who does just a ton of awesome work with DC Universe. Had a lot of cool prints. Had a really neat one of the 6th Doctor. I didn't get that, unfortunately, because we were a little strapped for funds. But what I did do was I took a Harley Quinn Valentine's Day special and actually got her hugging a TARDIS. Just to kind of symbolize my time spent at the convention, and I thought it was a lot of fun. And actually, I just thought of this. If we go to like SpringCon or something again, and if he's there, maybe I'll have him do some follow-up work on the back, because it's blank. Just kind of pimp it out a little bit with some more Harley Quinn Doctor Who-isms, But just wonderfully well done. He posted it on his Facebook page. Everyone's liking it. And I posted the picture of me and him with the book, and I was like, that's pretty sweet. I got some other just little odds and ends I just wanted to show you guys. These are some humorous Doctor Who Pokemon cards. So Arcanine and Pikachu were the 2 cards there. Just very descriptive. I thought it was clever. Dirt cheap. I mean, these things are like 50 cents a piece, and I'm like, I'm totally buying that. I also did spend $1 on this pretty oil painting print, which is a TARDIS with a heart on it, which we love Doctor Who in this house, and so I thought that was appropriate. So we'll probably get that in a baby frame and hang that up somewhere. Kind of fun. I thought it was neat. Likewise, I did get 2 unique pieces here, and these are just, what do Daleks do for casual. So this is a souffle, whisk whisk, and then Daleks like to recreate while they're laying on the beach as well, which was awesome. Finally, there was a really awesome vendor that just makes pocket watches, and so there was one that was gifted to Colin Baker and had also been gifted to Sylvester McCoy. And so they were like, hey, this is the same watch if you want it. It's our last one. And I'm like, okay. So it's very pretty, and it actually does work. Battery is standard what you would get at the mall, to replace it should it ever need to be replaced. And if you pull it out, it stops ticking, so you can save on the battery and set it at a later time. So I've never owned a pocket watch before, but I thought it was really pretty, and it wasn't too terribly expensive, which was awesome. But I thought it was just beautiful work on it, so I figured, why not?
Absolutely.
So all in all, I mean, we had a really great experience at the con. The final piece, I guess, that we both wanted to talk about are our hats. And so there was this vendor that made these awesome handmade hats, and I saw the Snorlax one, and I was like, I want the Snorlax hat. It's so cute. So I bought it, and then she was like, can I hold on to it for the rest of the convention, because it's my only one, and I want to get more orders in. So she did confirm she had at least one more order, so we made her another, $30 on it, so that was cool. But yeah, I was more than happy to do that. So I don't know.
We ran into it was funny. The first night we were there, we got to Gareth's little interview thing they were doing. It was actually before the opening ceremony, so there wasn't a lot of people in the audience. And they were telling a story about like the night before something was going on, and nobody had clapped for him. And so the guy on the stage made the comment, "Well, if you see him, be sure to give him the clap." I don't know if he really realized what he said, but it was funny because we were actually standing in the hallway the next day, and Gareth was walking down, and as he walked by, I just started giving him the clap and slow clapping.
Got that big grin.
And then later on in the day, we were standing in the elevator, and he came into the elevator. Yeah. I just looked at him like, I'm not going to give you the clap again, sorry. Yeah. And he's like, you do whatever you need to do. He seemed like a very nice guy. I didn't want to like crowd his face and be like, oh my god, you're so famous, but it was really kind of cool to just be in the elevator standing right next to him.
They were all like, super casual like that, like, oh yeah, we're just awesome people, So yeah, ultimately it was a great con. My only complaint really is the swag bag itself, and it was this. So when I think swag, you guys, I expect maybe just something more than the con handbook and a schedule. You know, because that was pretty much all that was in there. Maybe we could throw in a promotional print of the con artwork or something, because they had the T-shirt with the Sixth Doctor on there. But just something simple like that. Now, this is me being critical, because there's a lot that goes into a convention, and I bet that the chairman that put this all together, I mean, I saw him a few times throughout the con. He looked absolutely bushed.
Yeah,
you know,
he
it's
looked
a big
like he
day.
was working his ass off.
He was, and so we definitely appreciate that. But my only suggestion is maybe to throw in a few more fun freebies, get with those vendors, make those connections. Even if it is a flyer for another con, I counted the things in there, and there's like 4 things, and I was like, that's a bummer. Yeah. Granted, this is still a young con.
Yeah, this is
right?
the second year,
right? So I can't be too picky about that. I would personally love to see a variant cover comic book with it, like a Doctor Who comic, with its own cover on there, and get that con logo on there, all that. It is doable. Lots of cons do it, but it is, money. So that's just me being super critical. Other than that, I thought it was really well put together, personally. Staying at the hotel was a pleasant experience for us, because we could just get away and go to the room whenever. They also had a con suite, which I've never been to a con that has snacks laid out for their attendees like that for free.
Yeah.
Right? Wizard World, you're paying $20 for a pizza, right? And they're like, here's baked potatoes and soup. And I mean, this is the most Midwestern con ever. Yeah, you got that hospitality factor. So I really, I think that the good definitely outweighs the bad things about the con, and I could count the bad things about the con on one hand, which is the swag bag, and then the know-it-alls and the sessions. But we're not going to go into that, because I'm not here to slam on other people on the con. I'm just saying that we're all here to experience what the panelists have to say, not what you have to say.
Yeah. Sometimes the audience got a little too involved. I'd rather hear what they have to say than you.
I was like, get on the panel or shut up. Yeah. So, great adventure.
Definitely love to go back again. I'm looking forward to it. Really hope they keep doing it. I love the fact that, there's actually a Doctor Who con so close. I mean, granted, it's 4 hours away from us, but it's well worth the drive.
Definitely. The other thing, too, that we had fun with was we actually took a stack of these awesome shirts up, and I was like, Ken, I'm just going to put them on the free table and see if they go. Gone. Like that. People are wearing them, and Ken posted on Facebook, it's weird seeing people wear names with your shirt, or your shirts with your name on it. Yeah. And I got a kick out of that, but they were gone. I mean, people loved it, and it's just so funny, because this is a proposed. First of all, these shirts are about a year old. Honestly,
it's taken us a while to get this together.
It's taken us a while to get the show going. We actually are going to post our previous attempt at an episode from way back in the day as kind of a
2014,
right, as kind of a as kind of a spoof here. But this is our first formal episode of a Doctor Who look. We're keeping it on the Comic Book Look channel, because it's all things nerd. We're looking at everything nerdy. So definitely just rock out with your boys. But if you guys are interested in getting a free shirt, we have plenty left. So we will probably be posting a contest question or something, maybe on Twitter, @ a comic book look, or on Facebook, a comic book look. So definitely look for us there, and keep an eye out for that. We'll probably be doing that in the next week or two, because we definitely have more than enough shirts left.
Oh yes.
And we love the design, and it's a lot of fun with a comic book look Enterprise floating around. So honestly, they have everything down to your name on the pass. This console room con is definitely a personable experience. I didn't get to meet the chairman as much. I really wanted to go up and talk to him to see if maybe we could do an interview after the fact.
He just looks
so busy. So I'm probably going to shoot him an email and just say, hey, here's the review of your con, and also, do you want to talk about it? Like, what all goes into it? And do, an interview that way. Because I'm interested, just to see what all goes into it.
Absolutely.
So, awesome con, though. Ken was surrounded by his fellow Whovians. I'm more of a part-timer, but it was still a lot of fun. In one of the conventions, I did propose the question, how are the Doctor Who comics received by and regarded by fans of Doctor Who?
Are they canon?
And are they in continuity with the episodes? And it just caused this uproar, and oh my god, And so I just was like, that's interesting. So that sounds like it is a panel for itself. But I would definitely love to reach out to more Whovian enthusiasts, and also those that are trying to compile all of it. So maybe I'll get Lars Pearson for that. I'm curious just to see how it all fits in, because I'm a continuity junkie. So That's all I got.
I don't really have anything else. It was definitely well worth the trip. I had a great time. It was wonderful to meet Colin. He was very personable. They had Daleks that you could get pictures taken with for free, and we got some fun ones of those. They're going to be posting them on their page, and you can get a copy from them on their page. Yeah. That was awesome. Colin was such a nice guy. I mean, there were people who were coming up to him. I don't think everyone understood that, photographs are one time, autographs are another, and you have to pay for them because people are coming up trying to get him signed. He's like, "Oh, unfortunately, I'm not doing that now. We'll be doing this later." And he was just very polite, very nice guy. It was just great to meet him and then listen to it on the panel, listen to his stories about Doctor Who. It was just a unique perspective, and I loved it. And I would love to go back next year and see what goes on next year.
I'm curious to see who they're going to bring.
Yeah, last year, I guess apparently they had Ace, the companion, was there, and I don't know who else the other person was, but they had 2 people from the show. Yeah. And it seems like they're now that they're more established, who knows? Maybe someday they might get David Tennant. I would love to see David Tennant at Console Room, and I'm sure they'd probably love it too.
Definitely. Well, again, gentlemen and ladies on the Console Room committee, hats off to you. I'm not going to take mine off right now because my hair is all screwed up from the drive home. But seriously, job well done. I heard nothing but good things just listening to the people, going in and out of the elevator, that kind of stuff. So everybody seemed to be enjoying it really well, and it's definitely on our calendar for next year. And I don't know, I would just like to see more vendors. More vendors, more artists. Yeah.
But like I said, this was the second year. I don't know how many they had last year. This might have been a big improvement from last year vendor-wise, and who knows? Next year's might even be bigger. So.
Exactly.
And all the vendors were so nice. They were all so polite, and if you had questions, and
they'd business cards,
and they even recognized you with it because it wasn't as big a con. So I walked by a vendor and they're like, "Oh, you changed your hat. I like it," or you changed your shirt, and I'm like, "Oh, well, thank you." Yeah. And they recognized stuff like that, and they were pretty reasonable priced. Some of the stuff is stuff you could get online, but if you can support the con, support the con.
Definitely. Well, again, thanks to everybody for helping put the con on, and for having us up. And I know that Colin and all the guests were having a wonderful time. So I thought that was really cool. Just shout out again to Chris Jones. What a guy!
He's a great guy.
So
he was
fun.
He was
so
very
fun. We got to talk to him outside of the hotel, and just such a good guy. I really enjoyed talking with him. So. That's it for us, I guess. A Doctor Who look, you guys. So keep in touch. We're going to be just reviewing the most random things coming up. I have no actual agenda written or anything, but Ken and I always talk about possible theme ideas for the show, stuff like that. So it's always on a whim. But just keep it locked on a Comic Book Looks channel. We got your back, but we're definitely the boys in blue saving the world. And if you guys want to join the Blue Brigade, just keep an eye out for those contest questions.
Absolutely. So guess we'll look forward to seeing you next time, and hopefully it'll come a little sooner than the last episode did.
Right. Absolutely. Well, you guys, as always, have a very awesome summer coming up. We hope to check in with you a couple more times before then. And with that, I don't have a catchphrase for the show because Ken's in the driver's seat.
So I got to come up with a catchphrase. I guess we'll see. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side. Doctor Who, look. Boom.